Who's your best friend? Look in the mirror. It's you. It should be you. Our relationship with ourselves is the most important relationship we are ever going to have in our entire lives. In fact, it is our life. So, how are you talking to yourself? That self talk. Is it kind, compassionate, uplifting, supportive? Or is it toxic, negative, self defeating, self sabotaging? It matters. Words have power, even if they're only spoken in our own heads. And if what you're telling yourself isn't all that great, maybe it's time to change it. So let's take a look at, where does it come from? Where does that dialogue come from in our own heads? Where do we get it? We accumulate things in life: parents, friends, siblings, media, and we internalize it. And let's not forget marketing. There's a multi-billion-dollar industry that's designed to prey on our insecurities. They're trying to tell us that there's something wrong with us. We're lacking in some way if we don't have something or we don't do something. And for some reason, we internalize some of that too, to our detriment. So how do we stop it? Well, we're creatures of habit. Our brain patterns are habits. And we have to figure out a way to change those habits, change those patterns, get off those negative, self-sabotaging hamster wheel thoughts and replace them with more positive, uplifting self-talk. For me, I thought, why am I talking to myself like this? It's not true. It's not my truth. It's not who I am. Why am I allowing these thoughts to have negative headspace? I mean, it's my head. I'm in charge of my own thoughts. And how do you do that? Well, the first thing you have to do is you have to recognize that you're doing it. And then you have to stop it. So you say stop. And you create something, you change something to make something better for yourself. You have to change the dialogue. You can use affirmations. You can use sticky notes. Put those things everywhere. Put them on your car. Put them on your mirror. Put them on your bedroom wall. Put them on the fridge. Just things to remind yourself to talk kindly to yourself. You can get a bowl. Write a whole bunch of positive affirmations down. Put them in the bowl. Draw one out every morning or every evening, or you can do both. You got to do things that are going to reinforce this positive journey. Have things in your space that remind you to be kind to yourself. They can be statues, they can be jewelry, it can be bracelets, whatever. There are things in your environment that you surround yourself with that remind you that you're worthy, that you're loved, that bring you happiness, and that bring you positivity, that can help you focus and remind yourself to change that internal dialogue to something positive, to change those patterns, to create something new and wonderful for yourself. Now, I recognize that it can be more difficult for those of us that find ourselves in an environment or in relationships with kind of these negative people, or with people who are still maybe saying these negative things, or implying some of these negative things. And it makes it much more challenging to stop that behavior, stop those patterns, or stop those negative thoughts from taking up some of that headspace. But you really have to work a little harder and dig a little deeper, because you're so totally worth it. So totally worth it. And sometimes you kind of tap into that little bit of inner FU, where you say, no, I'm not going to allow that in my head anymore. I'm not going to get on that hamster wheel again. We get one shot on this journey, and that's what it is. It's a journey. It's progress forward. We learn, we grow, we progress. Talk to yourself like you would to someone you love. It's a little wisdom from Brené Brown. Energy attracts energy, my friends. Positive attracts positive. Negative attracts negative. So when we focus on the positive, that's what we manifest. That's what we create. It's odd sometimes when you think about it that sometimes we show more kindness and consideration to complete strangers than sometimes what's going on in our own thoughts towards ourselves. And take the time to just let it be. Be honest with yourself. Am I being kind? Supportive? It's okay to have some constructive criticism. Sometimes we need a little boot to kind of get us past some of that resistance in life. But there's a big difference between saying, I don't want to do something, or I don't feel like doing something, and saying, I can't do something, or I'm not capable of doing something. Now, be honest with yourself too. So don't go too far the other side where you're delusional. Don't tell yourself that everything you do is wonderful and you have no room to grow, or there's no room for improvement, that you have nothing else to learn, because that's not really being honest. And you want to have an honest relationship with yourself. We all have room to grow. We all have more to learn. We all have more to experience and more to explore. It's the beauty of the journey. And we only get experience one way. We find ourselves in the middle of something new. It can be good, bad. Sometimes it's not good or bad. It's just different. And when our sense of self is strong, when it's solid, it allows us to get through the hard things in life, and we all get in the hard, one way or the other. But it helps us get through them easier. Does it always make it easy? No, but it certainly makes it easier to kind of regroup and get back on track again, to move past those difficult things, to get past those difficult things and move forward. The hardest thing in my life ever was losing my husband of 32 years. I came downstairs one Sunday morning and life as I knew it was over, was gone, didn't exist anymore. And grief is its own thing. And it was a huge, huge, life-altering moment. The relationship we had, the dreams, the plans, it was all gone, just gone. And one of the hardest, just the toughest time ever. How do you get through it? How do you get through the hard stuff? It's because you know you're capable. Because you know, even as hard as it is in this moment, that you're going to get back up. You know that you can get back up and keep going. Because you know you can do it. Even when it's hard, you can still do it. And unfortunately, our internal work is not anything anybody else can do for us. I wish, but it doesn't work that way. It's part of our own personal journeys. And I strongly encourage everybody to start by saying, I can be my own best friend. Or even better, I am my own best friend. And from this moment forward, I'm going to strengthen and nurture this relationship that I have with myself. And remember, knowledge is important, but it's the application of that knowledge. That's where the magic happens. So keep working, keep striving, stay positive. And thank you for joining me. Blessings to all of you beautiful souls. I'll see you next time.